Yeah? All right, what's the question?
How do we convince people that it's not just about the war?
Why shouldn't it be?
And I don't mean just this race, I mean nationwide.
Let me just stress this one first. I think fundamentally this is about a changing direction of the country. And that involves a lot of issues. It does involve the war. They're going to make it out to be that way every single time. I heard Neto on the air the other day when somebody said that. He said it's about the war. It's about universal health care coverage. It's about bringing sensibility back to the way we spend money, getting rid of these deficits. Just keep on mentioning those over and over again. People will hear through that. They're going to listen more than just a soundbite.
You know, it's been amazing when we talk about crashing gates. We just had a perfect example of this happen I think it was 3 weeks ago, when Stephen Colbert spoke in front of the White House press conference, right? And the same press corps that a year ago couldn't stop laughing at George Bush's hilarious jokes about weapons of mass destruction under his desk. Hilarious stuff, right? Completely ignored Stephen Colbert. Not just because he ripped on Bush, but he also made them out to be the fools that they are. And so they didn't want us to know about it. But you know what? It didn't matter anymore. Right? The gatekeepers are being circumvented. Within 48 hours, the video was uploaded in myriad of sites. Right? C-SPAN crashed. I tried to go Sunday morning, the site was down. I've never seen C-SPAN crash. YouTube had 3 million downloads in 48 hours. Crooks and Liars had 300,000 downloads in 48 hours. And the video is now up on the iTunes site. $2. It's the number 2 download on iTunes right now. So the press will say that we're young, that we're naive, that we're extremists, that we're trying to move the party to the left. I keep saying, Lieberman's a perfectly liberal senator. That's not the problem. We got to keep reminding people over and over again that this is about a strong Democratic Party. It's about a party that knows what it stands for, isn't afraid of its own shadow, knows what its values are, and doesn't undermine the work. You know, Joe Lieberman was the last person to get in line with the Democratic caucus on Social Security.
That's right.
Ben Nelson was strongly in the caucus. Max Baucus, Byron Dorgan, Mark Pryor of Arkansas. The most conservative Democrats in the caucus were with us on Social Security. The most liberal were with us on Social Security. Joe Lieberman was busy hanging out with George Bush trying to find a compromise solution, but nobody asked him to find a fucking compromise solution. When we look at it about the war, and we have to keep reminding them that it is bigger than that. There are many, many Democrats that supported the war that are not being targeted. And if it was about the war, we wouldn't be targeting all those people. It's bigger than that. And I think we just got to keep reminding them. When they ask, keep reminding them. And eventually either they'll get the hint or they won't. But it doesn't matter as long as we're talking to people and real people and we inform them and educate them about what's important. So, just to bring the focus nationally, part of the problem that the Democratic Party is that we are not drawing the distinctions with the Republicans. The Republicans are in power. They are the majority people. They are in majority power. Yet if you look at, I think only about 2/3 of the nation even realizes that in the polls that the Republicans are the majority power. That's because the Democrats haven't drawn distinctions between them and the Republicans enough. All of the polls show that Democrats have a double-digit lead now going into the election, generic vote. But that's just a generic vote. It doesn't reflect what's actually going to happen with the turnout. So it's distinctions like the war that are going to help us in the end with the Republicans, and that's going to help. Back there, Will. Take turns.
How do we stop them from shutting down and locking down the internet?
Oh, net neutrality? Matt Scola here, he's much better at answering that question than I am. What I'll say is that an interesting coalition has come about recently, and it's not only on the left that views the free speech and the equality that the internet gives us. We had a coalition already going with the Gun Owners of America and the Liberal Blog Ad Network, and just the other day the Christian Coalition joined us. So here you have the Christian Coalition, the liberal bloggers, Google, Yahoo, and the Gun Owners of America. But We can't lose, I hope.
Just the net neutrality. Oh, I'm Matt Solar. I am. Thank you. Joe was kind enough to let me blog on IDD. The net neutrality issue is about a progressive communications infrastructure, and it's part of probably a 10-year battle around creating more democratic media. The coalition is building. One of the nice things about building coalitions on the internet is that they sort of stay together since they're loose. So that coalition is going to expand and get stronger and stronger and stronger, and we're going to push more and more and more over the next 5 to 10 years. And I'll just go because I went into a room full of lobbyists last week, and they're like, I'm so-and-so from AT&T, I'm so-and-so from Verizon, I'm so-and-so from Rainbow Push, and so, they were introducing themselves because the telecom people were explaining to the neighborhood networks people about, this isn't going to affect your cable or internet. And I introduced myself. I said, I'm Matt Stoller, I'm a blogger, I opened my computer, and I took out a recording device, and they all jumped. Which is to say that we're making a really big difference in this fight, and we're making a big difference in the net neutrality fight. I can go into details, but it's really boring. The point is that what you're doing here has made a massive difference in D.C. Those people are scared because of what you're doing here and what's happening all over the country. So it really does matter in terms of the policies that are being pursued by this government and our ability to create a participatory media.